Let's talk Action Comics 979, writer Dan Jurgens, art by Patrick Zeiger.
This was so much better than Justice League of America.
What we're building. Well, I don't know if it's going to maintain because...
this was great. Like, This is how you get a heel over. I fucking watch pro wrestling, and I see them fuck up heels all the time. And then I read Action Comics, and Dan Jurgens fucking gets Cyborg Superman over like the fucking biggest badass on Earth.
I will say this. I will attempt to defend the WWE writers. Dan Jurgens does not have Vince McMahon looking over his scripts and saying, "This sucks. Write it again from the beginning."
Fair enough. Have Superman go over while they're building the team to stop him. It worked great with the Nexus. Yeah, it's fucking... No, but what they did in this was we found out Hank Henshaw was gathering up villains. He fixed Metallo. He got Blank out of Superman's prison. He brought Eradicator back, and then they were going to go get Mongol. The problem was Hank Henshaw is not Cyborg Superman in this world, but Cyborg Superman is another guy who, for some reason, he remembers what came before the New 52, apparently. So, we don't know why, but he does. And I imagine this is all connected because if Superman is so important in all this, then whoever's pulling the strings probably like said, "Oh, hey, you got your memory back. You can remember this shit." So, what happened was they go get Mongol, and storyline consistency. Mongol was still trapped by the Black Mercy flower.
That was so cool because sometimes you'll see and we'll wonder like, wow, when does this happen? When does this take place? But they were quick to add notes of this is when that happened in the Book of Trinity, and I think they also made references to other things that had happened in the Superman book.
Yeah, well, because this all he's trying to keep this like in continuity. So the book did open up with Mongol murdering Superman.
It's Superman begging off Mongol. Please, Mongol, don't kill me. I beg you. And
then he crushes his head. But so they get Mongol, and Mongol, he don't want to work for anyone else, and they have to go to the destroyed Himalayan Fortress of Solitude 2.0. They go to that, and he's looking for this. It's like a rock. It's basically a rock that grants a wish. So they get it, and Mongol wants to keep it, but then Henshaw appears, and he's like, "You used to work for me, motherfucker. You don't deserve this shit." And he uses it to make himself Cyborg Superman again. Mongol doesn't remember him, by the way. That's kind of important. Because, their big team up was after Superman died, they went and they did the blowing up Coast City, and that's why Hal Jordan became Parallax and all that shit. Like, they were behind it. But Mongol didn't remember any of this because Hank Henshaw was not Cyborg Superman until he saw him, and then he suddenly remembered. But Cyborg Superman beat the fuck out of Mongol.
He saw this is for you doing this to me. Now you're gonna kiss my hand.
Yeah, he fucking made him get on his knees and kiss his fucking hand. What a heel. And he got the heat by beating up the other heels who were going to work for him.
Yeah.
You didn't have to job out the babyface to do that. That's fucking balls. That was great. And they made him come off like the biggest threat. Like, if a badass as big as Mongol, who, keep in mind, in that storyline they're referring to, they never beat Mongol. They never even really fought him. They just put a fucking flower on his chest. Like, they contained him, but they couldn't beat him. And Eradicator, Superman had a hard time with, and we don't know what new Metallo can do, but he's presumably strong, and Blank is fucking, mind control shit, so he's strong. He's got a really fucking good team here. And Superman might be fucked. We don't know.
I sincerely doubt that.
I don't think he's gonna die, but they did lead in, though, his team's not done. He said to really get Superman, we need one more person. We need Zod. So apparently, I don't know where Zod currently is.
He's
I don't know if
they showed he's in the Suicide Squad title right now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, they showed it at the end. They're like, next issue, Suicide Squad, Zod something. I don't remember what it was, but they alluded that.
Or they're gonna go, and the Suicide Squad has something that they need to get Zod. But either way, they're going to go get Zod then. So it's going to be Zod, Mongol, Blank, Metallo, Cyborg, Superman. That's a fucking awesome team.
Revenge Society. Is that what they're called?
The Superman Revenge Society.
Yeah, they're just calling this Revenge, but I love it because I mean I know a little bit of it because obviously I've seen every single cartoon and they've alluded to this, but it's nice that I'm getting the legit one. That's the one thing that I love about this DC Rebirth and them sort of shunning away the New 52. This feels like I'm reading real DC.
Yeah, and the other thing is this is like an old tactic for Superman.
Mhm.
It's like Spider-Man had like the Sinister Six. Like none of us can beat Spider-Man on our own, so we'll team up. But the thing is, like Spider-Man, he's not on the level of Superman.
You don't say.
Superman is such a fucking big deal that you can't just take like a bunch of moderately powered guys and team them up and think they're gonna fucking take like the fucking Flash's Rogues Gallery ain't gonna fight Superman. They're gonna lose. These guys, though, since they're all super powerful, you put them together and it's like, okay, maybe they equal Superman now. Which is what you have to do if you're writing Superman correctly. Because the weakness people have with Superman is they have to find some way to exploit his weakness because it's hard to make a threat to him. So somebody has to have kryptonite or somebody has to have magic.
To me, now it's just you just go after his family.
Well, you could do that too, and they sort of alluded to that because Superman finally decided he's moving away from the farm. He's going to move to Metropolis because they wanted. Well, number one, Lois said the commute is getting to her, but the other one is they thought Jonathan could use like a little more culture, a little more variety, and you're not going to get that in the fucking country.
How dare they?
With evil fucking.
Don't spoil
neighbor. It. I know. Fucking evil neighbor, though. Like
the thing I like about you, us not spoiling it, I'm sure like 90% of the people listening to this already know what those.
Yeah, because it's fucking cool. But the good news is the other Superman title has a super fucking cool villain coming up. This Superman title has a bunch of cool villains coming up. They have done such a fucking good job with Superman since Rebirth.
Yeah.
And like everybody knows I'm like the biggest Grant Morrison fan on earth. When DC relaunched and he wrote Superman, I read it for like 3 issues and I'm like, yeah, this isn't the Grant Morrison I like. It's too normal. It's a little boring. I don't like this.
See, maybe now I need to read that now because I do like when Grant Morrison is kind of normal.
No, it was too normal.
Oh, okay.
Like I read Grant Morrison stories because he'll do something different with the character. Like he wrote Batman for 5 years and I fucking absolutely loved every minute of it. It was fantastic and it was weird and different. He would say he just did all the old shit, but it's not really what he did. But with Superman, I just thought he was kind of like they told him, yeah, it's Superman, you could do what you want. He never really went anywhere with him. Like Grant Morrison wrote All-Star Superman, which I fucking loved. His run on Action Comics, I think it was not All-Star Superman. It was very much safe, traditional Superman. It was boring.
Yeah, that was in continuity Superman, so you had the handcuffs on him, so.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I mean, this is in continuity, and it's doing things that don't hurt Superman as a character, don't hurt what anybody else wants to do with him, but they're both building up villains.
You know what this is probably leading to? If Rebirth is everything sort of a return to form.
Luthor being a heel?
Yeah!
I've been fucking waiting for it for so long. I love Lex Luthor as Superman's villain because, you know, Superman is like God and Lex Luthor is just a dude. And that's why he hates Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fucking greatest. That is the greatest. I much prefer Luthor and Superman to Joker and Batman. Because my problem with Joker and Batman was I do like the Joker, but Batman is kind of fucking crazy. And Joker is totally crazy. And they're not similar because Joker's completely fucking insane and Batman's just a little nutty. but they're closer than Superman and Luthor are.
Which
like Superman is the ultimate good, like beyond reproach good, never does anything bad. Luthor is just a dude who can be good, but he's usually bad, but he's like an evil capitalist. And he goes against Superman because Superman makes him feel like he has a small penis. It's a much more grounded story, even though it's dealing with Superman. And I fucking love that. I love Luthor's speeches about how much he hates Superman, and I really fucking miss him.
It'd be great if at the end of all this, it's Luthor who's been behind the Rebirth stuff.
No, that wouldn't make any sense.
It was him pulling the strings of Doc Manhattan as opposed to Ozymandias. Because it seems like, you know.
I don't think Ozymandias is pulling the string. If it is Ozymandias, I don't think he's pulling the strings. I think he's working with him. It's going to be Superboy Prime pulling the strings.
Everyone's going to be so disappointed. I mean, the signs are there and people at CBR are talking about it, but I'm like...
They could make him cool. Like, that's the thing. It's like, you know, it's like, oh God, Superboy Prime is so lame, but it could be cool.
That's true. They've over the years, they've made things that have been sort of been taboo or some kind of lame into kind of a big deal. I mean, Grant Morrison got, Batfink over?
Batmite.
Oh, Batmite.
Yeah, he got Batmite over.
So
you never know.
Who's to
the
say
fucking Batman of Zur and R?